Hello and welcome back to our Folktale playthrough on in Beeftorial. We're now on episode 33, I want to say. Can't believe we're already at 33, but overall looking pretty nice, if I dare say so myself. So there are a couple of things that we want to do in this episode. First, we're just going to remove all of these paths, because these paths are honestly just pointless. And we can fill up the entire area with oaks. And that's exactly what we're going to do, because that will provide us with more trees, and more trees are always a good thing. We can actually do the same over here with the paths. We don't need them anymore because all of the areas are connected with proper zipline stations. So let's go ahead and delete all of you. Actually, I want to delete the path on the other side, as they are still putting in that connecting piece. Well, not connecting piece, that retention wall, which will provide our tree area in the near future with all the water it could possibly use. So that is pretty awesome. All right, you can actually, you also not reach back here. I guess that's okay. We're still in the middle of a drought. Yep. I haven't seen a bad tide in a while, but overall it's okay. However, being in a drought means we are just really short on power. So because of that, we have started to expand our windmill farms over this way. And I will actually remove this last piece right there. I meant to destroy the power shaft as well. High priority on that to pick it up. And then we're gonna go ahead and fill in more stuff up here with soil. Wrong direction. So let's remove that. Fill this up with soil, so we can expand more of our windmills up here. And we're gonna just end it right there. All right. In addition, we're also gonna do kind of the same thing over here. Let's see, it needs to be one connection in, so one gap between that part and the power shafts, so to speak. So we're gonna put that in just like that. Could be good actually to bring this over already. So you know what, let's do this as well. We do have a little bit of logs left. We have a ton of logs all of a sudden. Wow. All right. Doing okay. Happy to have all these logs. How did we end up with so many logs? I guess it's because these have started to grow. Now we're making a good amount of surplus of logs, which should also very soon result in us having plenty more planks. Nothing to do in range. Oh, they have also put in the aquatic farm. So let's go ahead and expand our food supply, just like we said we would. Spatter dog, all on this side. And then we're bringing in cattail actually over here. And let's fill in the middle with more spatter dog. All right. Spatter dog does need to be grilled, so we will need to expand our grilling area over here. We still have that collector here. Guess I'm not eating a lot of the berries at the moment. So I have a gap there that we're not utilizing at the moment. That's okay. All right, regardless, let's put in some pieces of soil. I want to say actually over here. Because we do have, we're starting to run low on dirt. Kind of makes sense. Anyways, we're putting in the pieces of soil, put in a grill right there, and then we're gonna set the recipe to grilled spatter dog. I forgot if we have ever planted chestnuts, but I don't think we did. Chestnuts would be really good to plant actually just in this corner right there. We can expand that area a bit as well. So let's go ahead and plan for that. Let's see. Yeah, we're building it all the way up to the back there. And keep it all pretty straight. Don't quite know if we're getting enough water in there at the moment, but in the long run, I think we will. And then we're just gonna say, don't cut these down anymore. We actually don't replant them anymore. I do want you to cut them down. I don't think we've ever said this area to be cut. Nope. So there we go. You two have something to do then. And however, we should also make sure you guys get a little bit more stuff to do. So in the long run, I think we'll just build all of that back area up more and more as things move along. Now I'm gonna set this area to be high priority. So this gets done. And Spatterdock is growing. A couple more days and then we have an additional food source. This part here is still supplying this area here fully with water. So that is good that we don't need to worry about anything. But we also need to that beautiful more windmills coming along. Even though at the moment these windmills are in a sense pretty useless because, well, there is no wind. Surprise. Alright. Let's go ahead and actually just plan to have the back fully constructed. So we need 2 of the connecting gears. And that tells me it would be nice to have 1 more level of soil. Just planting it like this. Right, here we go. And then we're gonna make sure that they prioritize all of this being built as well. That part here too. And we remove, that path was a bit unnecessary, but overall just fine. Put in more windmill. And that, well, once they've managed to build all of that, which will still be a while, we'll be in a much better situation. Look at how our logs are skyrocketing. Just because, did I say rocks? Logs. Just because we had a little bit of extra area to chop down, and that area is being kept hydrated, which again, very good for us. All right. So what else do we need to do? We're still waiting for these to be built. I don't, because you guys are not on the highest priority. So let's wrap this up so we can open this part and then not worry about this anymore, and also raise the water level in here to 0.9 again. Shouldn't take too long. Planks are coming in nicely as well. I think we're struggling at the moment a little bit with keeping our bot supply up. Maybe this is sort of the maximum number we're currently at. Though I think the only thing that our bots are currently doing is building. Could switch you to beavers. We're actually, I think we're just okay. All right, water supply still stable. I mean, we have the 2 large water pumps doing their job, which is pretty awesome. This should now stay completely hydrated, which is not that. It's all in. Very cool. All right, that means we can actually remove all of this. So delete these and that one as well, and here as well. And we don't need that. You guys can already go ahead and pick it all up. This will just fill in to the level that it was. And now we can go down here. Where is it? And set our water level up here to 0.85, 0.85. Just a little bit below the water level that the other area set. 0.17, 0.85. And I think that will ultimately help us. Look at all the water flowing out here. All right. Have you guys picked it up? Yep, you have cleared it out, which is pretty awesome. You can reach both of these plots, so let's remove them. And you can reach both of these as well. So in addition to the path, we're removing obviously the levees, bringing up again a little bit of material. Not that it's super urgent for that, but I think it will be nice to have. You guys have finished putting in the soil over here, so we're just gonna micromanage putting in a little bit more cattail and a little bit more spatter dog. There we go. Could actually put in more spatter dog here as well. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine. Technically, we delete that and build this up with soil. We can plant even more spatter dog, but for now I think we'll be doing just okay. Right, I do want you to build the grill. Be a little bit longer before the spatter dog is being fully grown. Another 8 days. Grill won't take that long to build, but overall it's also okay. All right. I am wondering, during a drought like this, it'd probably be nice to keep pumping water into here. So maybe we should plan for that. And we could relatively easily connect the power over this way. Remove these stairs here, the path here, this path as well. And then, oh, look at that. We actually never finished this side of things. Let's go ahead and add more soil to that. So we have a full surrounding path on that retention wall. Well, not full, since I'm planning to put in a water pump right here. So let's go ahead, place it down. Where is it? Mechanical fluid pump, other way around. And this way we will keep this even more hydrated. As you see, it is starting to dry out a little bit, which makes sense then that we prioritize this part right there. We're out of treated planks though. I guess we paused a ton of them. So let's resume another one. How's our plank situation? Only 2, 3. Any leftover planks is being put into this area right here anyways. So yeah. Okay, so this will take a little while until it's built. They will actually be able to reach it from the side, which means I can already put in the power connection there. Look at all the metal blocks already in there. How's our metal looking? 913. Very nice. And over here, they've built sort of the bottom layer, which is pretty good. But they still have obviously a ton more to build back here. And again, we're also slightly running out of soil. Our 4 bots here are doing their best, but it does take them a while to actually get there. So that's just what it is. All right. We had talked about that we need more food production area. And in order to work with our food production, I think it is time to unlock the grist mill. The grist mill does need power. And we now have wheat and the, what are they called? Cattail plants. So in the bakery, that can be turned into crackers and bread with just a little bit of logs. So the bakeries don't actually need power, which is good for us. And we will be able to put the bakeries just there. I think they're just too deep. Let me actually double check before I keep planning all of this here. Nope, they're 3 deep. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? I guess we could place one here, one over there in facing the other direction, having them connect in the middle. And if we remove this piece right there, we can, well, we need one connecting platform right there. And the rest can actually be built up with more soil pieces. Wow, really slow sometimes. All right. But before we do that, I think it would be good for us to figure out how to build a tunnel underneath there. So we're gonna plan to, so we can actually bring the power from up here. And yep, we're gonna explode that right in here. Down underground, underneath the water, and then back in here. While the water will kind of flow in there, it won't matter too much. So overall, we should be doing just fine. Why are you actually not building this? Okay, just lacking more planks as usual. Doing actually much better with the planks again. How is our... Oh, you guys are lacking pine resin. That makes sense because we removed our one and only pine resin area. Great. Let me remove you. I'm hoping our trees will be fine. 10 days. We have 1.2 days left. So easy peasy. Tapper shack right here. Let's high prioritize building of the tapper shack so we get more of the pine resin going. And long term, we will need more of that. Yeah, just more. But this will be a good start. At least we will get some pine resin back in. Not entirely sure where we're going to plant another forest like that. Anywhere close by. But we'll see. I'm glad for now that we just have enough logs. Because with the plank production, I think they're doing a really good job at wrapping all of this up. Which would be awesome to start building our village center in the next episode. Alright, so let's see again. If we actually put the bakeries back to back. That might not be the worst idea, to be honest. So let's go ahead. If we do it like that, we can keep this still open and put in our soil over here. So we will ultimately have a pathway or a connection, a walkable connection into our city center. And we can put the soil on both sides. Don't really need you here. I do want to keep that path open underneath though, just in case. So placing that there. Removing this and then putting in the rest of the soil right there. Now, having done all of that, we still need to get our power over there. So let's have a quick look. Our grist mill is 3 wide. So this way we could put 3 of them in here. Which might not be the... other side. We wanted to place it here. So if we want to get up there with power, I think we'll remove this part here. There we go. And then put dynamite in to go 2 down. Highest priority. And then we need another triple dynamite, I think, in here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Then we're on the ground level there. If we actually don't put a double dynamite in there, we don't need to go fully underground. So if we go ahead and put in a triple dynamite here, and that is the connection over this way, then we will be able to place tunnels underneath here. Not just 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2. Oh, look at that. It actually shows up. There we go. So that will allow us to connect in here. We can actually also just build this up. We don't need to connect this from underneath. We can honestly just bring the connector in here and then go up 2 levels with a platform there. Don't need a platform there, actually. not a double one at least. We need a single platform there, because then we can make a vertical power shaft connection, one here, one there, and bring these in just like that. Right, I think that is a plan. Okay, regular season again. This is happily filling up. This is already full. Very nice. And that will very soon like tip over. They've still not finished building the tapper shack. We're lacking gears. Not entirely sure. Probably everything I'm currently building, it all needs gears. Oh, the cattail has grown. Spatter dog. The cattail. Oh, it only takes 8 days. Interesting. So this guy will still need to wait a little bit longer before he gets to do anything. But food supply still looking okay. Water supply still looking okay. Well, we don't have more water storage than that. So it's actually looking pretty great. Okay. They're also doing a pretty good job at getting everything built back here. I could just fill this up with soil, so they have an easier time getting into these corners. Not like that. Lead. Yeah. Where is... There it is. Delete this again, and this. And then we just need to put in the land pieces like that. All right. Once they've put both of these in, they will also be able to reach the rest of that. And I could just bring it closer. Yeah, for now, I think it's fine. Long term, we probably want to put another pump over here. Yeah, so let's plan for that as well. That is easy though. Here we go. Problem solved. Then we can put a mechanical pump up here. It's immediately connected into the power grid. So we don't need to worry about any of this. Additional windmills have also been placed. The power supply is still... yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and expand this as well. Probably don't need this one up here. No, we do. No, we don't. Yes, we do. I will figure it out at some point. No, we don't. Actually, these are one to the left of that, so there will be another windmill here. What we might not need, actually, is this part. If we go ahead and place soil, because soil is cheaper, or if we place it here, we should be able to place a vertical power shaft right there. And that should allow us to place... oh, right. It's over here where they need to go. Still, it works out for us. So windmill here, 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 and here. All right. Coming along. How are we gonna make that connection back here? I guess we will need a staircase. Put you on highest priority, and then we'll just need to put in the power shafts just like that. Ah, I was hoping it would bring it upwards. All right, just to make sure they can actually get to this one, I'll pause this piece. Actually, don't need to pause this one. Need to pause you. So there we go. Would also probably be useful to get these power windmills in as well very quickly. This is now full. This is filled up. Very nice. You should actually shut down any second now. I'm hoping. And the rest should just flow back into this area. Why do we have an... and then we have the dam pieces over here in case they need to overflow. Makes sense, makes sense. All right. You probably, yep, you did put in the bombs over here. Let's go ahead and make sure the underground tunnels are the next priority. So we can make that connection over there. Very soon our spider ducks are gonna come in. Look, they've also started building that centerpiece here. Awesome. And we will want to have a bridge, an actual bridge, over this way. I would like to have a bridge coming from both sides, although I don't know if you guys will be able to build that. I kind of don't think so. Do we want a bridge? We could also just have soil connecting this up. Yeah, but a bridge would be nice. So this is kind of our long-term plan, and in order to actually get there, we will need a temporary bridge to build that bridge from both sides. So let's put it in like that. And later on, we're just going to remove it. All right. All of this is now full. Very nice. This is tipping over. This is tipping over. And nothing seems to be flooded. Good as well. You're pumping this still full. Awesome. Kind of want this to be a little bit faster. So I think we will actually put in another connection. Oh, look at that. They also added this. So let me quickly have you build these two, actually on the highest priority. Because once these three are actually built, or they can build the entire rest from above. Good, there we go. Those two are in. Means I can also now high prioritize this one. And then we still need to make sure that all of this gets built as fast as possible as well. Okay, you're in. Last one just needs to be hammered into place a little bit. There we go. Now we can destroy the stairs. And once all of these connections are fully completed, we can actually briefly disconnect this side, put in another... Why are you overflowing? I guess there's not enough outlet there. Interesting. All right, let's have you open. That should solve the problem, right? Maybe at least. But I think it's time we're making this a little bit prettier. So let me go ahead, put in a dam right here. And technically we would need a dam there. Oh, but if we build this up to that level, we need to rebuild this part. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So one levee here. I will now remove these stairs temporarily. Yeah, this will disconnect all of that. That makes sense. I'll actually not put a levee in there. We have the dirt, so let's use the dirt. And then 2 dirt pieces here. This needs to be a super extra ultra high priority. And then we need to put in the staircase down there. Highest priority on that as well. And then connect this up. This should not be a dirt piece either. This should actually be a 2x1 overhang. Then we need to put in an impermeable floor. And then put in another dam right there. All right. All of that is getting built. Somewhat. At least we're in a drought, so all of that is going back. That's at least something. That's looking pretty good. Starting to properly fill up. 18-day drought, so in the next regular season, we should actually be able to fill this up properly, almost to the top, which I'm very excited about. All right, we are getting there. Kind of want you to build this first, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. They are also building the stairs in. Cool, cool, cool. Come on. I mean, we still have 1,100 water, so definitely we were okay. All right. So now I'm gonna delete this dam right here. Yep, I will. I'll also remove these stairs. Don't need you anymore. And then we can also remove this floodgate that isn't serving any purpose anymore either. And we put you on auto. Good. I'll keep some of the water still flowing. Not sure. It says it's closed. There's still some water coming out. I guess that happens. And then we're just cleaning this up a little bit by pointlessly putting one piece of dynamite there. Actually, my priority on picking up the stuff. And we're also removing the path in here. All right. I think that's looking much better. Now we should also consider putting in a shortcut here. And we're just gonna add that. Not that they really need it, but it'll be a nice shortcut rather than walking so close to that pumping area, or like, not pumping area, but the gear area, power shaft area over there. All right, construction below needs to be finished. I guess that makes sense. There's priority on that though. So that is coming along. Good, and I actually over here, they're doing a pretty good job as well. Let me actually go ahead, make sure all of these are prioritized. And we can quickly build this and remove this and pretend it never existed. All right, we also have the connection there now. More windmills that came in. Still not creating enough power. How is batteries are looking pretty grim as well. So yeah, we just need a ton more of these windmills. Anyways, Timberbot 129 has been built. Crazy. Alright. Plank production is actually stable-ish, considering how many planks we're really using. Actually pretty good. Double platforms underneath are in there. Look, the bridge is in there as well. And they can already put in all the soil over here, so that's really nice. They also have now finished these tunnels, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So let's go ahead and remove the platforms, bring up some of, actually a good amount of planks. Oh, nice. You can actually see the wave spread. That's cool. Never noticed that. All right. And then we need to put in vertical shafts here. Don't need the top one. Just connect that in here. There we go. Set all of this to the highest priority. And more importantly, from down here, we'll put in one power shaft at a time, again on highest priority, so we're getting this sorted. Also be good once they are done with the material there. Not entirely sure. We're waiting for dirt. We have a ton of it. Why are you guys building everything underneath? Oh. That's the problem. Got it. These need to be facing the other way around. And this is where dirt can really get you if you're not careful enough. So once we've built these, we can actually move all around here and then they can build that from the back. But actually, what we probably want to do is remove this side and remove this side. And then put in the dirt in this direction on both sides. Because they can build this from up there, whereas they couldn't do the other stuff before. All right. See if they're gonna come and build that. Here we go. Well, building something. Oh, now you could build that? I guess I'll take it. Oh, you probably need this one to be built. Interesting. Right, we have the expansion or suspension bridges in here now, and they can start building the top layer of all of that. Spatter Dog is coming in as well, which means this guy is creating growth Spatter Dog. Very awesome. And we now need to... Why are these actually be replanted? I guess you're almost done. So let me remove some of this. And we're already gonna go ahead and place down some chestnut trees. Chestnut trees, here we go. And they can start growing, and then our gatherer flag can actually just pick those up whenever they are ready. All right. Looking overall pretty good. Pretty good. Would also be good now to think about automating this. The problem is how are we getting underneath there? I think we might need to go in from this side here. I mean, we could connect, yeah, but then we need to... Actually, this will work. If we're gonna go ahead and place more soil, because, well, we have the soil. If we place this in here... Oh, this piece would be in the way still. Trying to figure out how we can connect into this area from the side. But it's actually not that simple. Actually, we can just go underneath there. We would lose this tree, which I guess is not too bad. Let's do that. Let's place down our tunnels. Not tunnels. We don't have a replace with levees. Ah, I missed that. Right. Let's make sure we're getting the rest kind of in already. So high priority on all of... Actually, no, you are replacing it with a platform. Yep. So there we go. We can very quickly put in all of our tunnels right there as well, if I select the tunnels. And then all we need to do is, so this is one level high. This is one level high. So we will need to put in tunnels, and I'm thinking, actually, because we're placing it here, it needs to be 2 levels low. Let me not speculate. Let me just go down to this area and connect you all the way up. not all the way yet, just until here, because we will need to replace one of those platforms with a sluice. And then we don't need to have a beaver in here to actually keep this fully supplied. This will just be an extension of this area, which I think makes a ton of sense. All right. Look, they're actually building a good amount over here already. How are they doing over here? I guess not great. I do want this to be done as well, so we kind of don't need to worry about those trees anymore. But actually, we also have now made this connection. So we could put in that third water pump right there. I don't think we're right there yet. But at least, nope. Also not done here yet. And they have put in one at least. So that's good. Let me go ahead, place in the next one. And to make things a bit easier for me, or well, a little bit at least, let's go ahead actually and remove those three as well. Highest priority for those three. You guys can build this already. It's kind of the end of the day, so it might take a little while. I also don't need to that high prioritize these, so let's remove the priority a little bit. And you know what? We're going to deal with all of that in the next episode. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.